Disclaimer! I am aware that this video isn't exactly original. The Everything Great About format originates from Cinemawins, who has inspired me to try this. In addition, Char 5 started doing everything wrong with for video games as a pastiche of CinemaSins, which is what finally made me decide to make this video happen. If any of the 3 channels I've mentioned have an issue with this video, I will take it down. Lastly, due to the nature of the term great, this video should serve as my opinion only. With that being said, thank you for taking a chance on this project, and please enjoy. That apparently took 1/8 of the total memory space on this game when it first released. Was it worth it? Oh yeah. Fun fact, the name Sonic Team for this game was created by complete accident just because they were working on this game at the time. It's only when Sega released the first NICE game that it stuck, and we've had them ever since. Not sure if this should really be a win, but I'm counting it for giving birth to Sonic Team. And before we even start the game, we learn a bit of Sonic's personality. The finger wag, the smug grin, this is one overconfident dude. Also, let's talk that iconic design. I mean, he was designed to be easy to draw, but adding that blue to match the Sega logo was just chef's kiss. Okay, so I know that Green Hill has been used time and time again since this game, to the point a lot of fans want to break from it, but I don't think that should take away from just how iconic of a first level this is. Sonic Team spent 8 months tweaking this one level to make a good first impression of something that fits Sonic's character. Green Hill has the most amount of nature in the game and serves as a playground for what all Sonic can do with his speed. The loop-de-loops, the cascading water in the background, the checkerboard floors. There's a reason this level is iconic in the first place. Also, can we talk about how those opening notes just give waves of nostalgia every time this game is booted up? Masato Nakamura did a fantastic job with the score on this game, especially since he had only made one album before this. A sound effect that will live on forever. Also, the rings themselves are just an interesting collectible. Your score increases at the end of an act for the number you have, but they also serve as a shield from damage. It really rewards the player for finding them and being good at the game. And also, finding the Chaos Emeralds. I admit that this specific special stage gets blown out of the water by the ones in the other Genesis titles, but I also have to admit that they make for a fun challenge. Even if they cycle to the next one if we fail. Seriously, whose idea was that? Also, the special stage music is fire, the Chaos Emerald sound effect is rewarding, and the fanfare for completing a level just feels oh so satisfying. Speaking of which, the goalpost changing from Dr. Eggman to Sonic helps to convey that progress is being made on the side of good. Speaking of Eggman, I should talk about how iconic his look is too. An egg-shaped man with a mustache who was apparently the second place choice for Sega's new mascot. I mean, hey, if you have a good design, why not use it? I'm surprised I haven't mentioned it yet, but the enemy designs in this game are also smooth. The irony that Dr. Eggman is putting small animals into robot ones is not lost on me, but the designs and names of the crab meat, buzz bombers, caterkillers. You know what? Let's just give a win for every enemy in the game. Except the roller from Springyard Zone. He knows what he did. Sonic's balancing animation. Plus the hit the brake sound effect when Sonic needs to change direction. I mean, look at the way he looks at the player as if to ask what we're doing wrong. Okay, while we all know the invincibility theme is iconic, I want to focus on what hiding it means in terms of gameplay. It lets the player know to be on the lookout for secret items. Okay, this one might just be a me thing, but I love the little chibi Sonic sprite that appears when you get a continue. The sound effect for this is good too. Sonic's ability to burrow through walls with enough speed is an amazing level design decision, as it shows just what the player can do with speed while also giving him abilities actual Hedgehogs are known for. We'll get to this. The first Eggman boss. While the Egg Wrecker is a pretty easy fight, it leaves a memorable impression due to the pendulum mechanics. Also, Eggman theme in this game is just so good. I know I'm saying that about every track, but come on! The little detail of Eggman's mechs blowing up when you beat them is always a good time. Also, the character of Eggman laughing as he gets to attack, followed by the sheer panic as he fails. These characters have so much personality despite no lines of dialogue whatsoever. As much as saving the animals fits into the nature versus man aesthetic of these games, did you know that they all have names? Most people know the Fliggy Bird, but the chicken is named Clucky, the rabbit is called Pocky. It just makes freeing them feel more personal, you know? Like Sonic knows these creatures on that kind of level. Ah, Marble Zone. Okay, let's get the music out of the way. This theme is great. That being said, I get why everyone dislikes this level. We went from a speedy platforming level to a slow puzzle-solving one. Plus, getting 50 rings here is just so difficult. I personally think the level is fine, but it's a bit of a steep learning curve coming from Green Hill. We can admit the ruins background is cool though, right? Hidden areas that reward exploration. Also, branching pathways, though those become a bit trickier to find. I did this a lot here, so this is where I'm adding this, but the pop effect when an enemy or block gets broken is oh so satisfying. I don't know if it was intentional, but the game over music sounds so robotic. Like Eggman is mocking you for not making it farther. Probably because it's a flipped version of the opening theme. Okay, the falling lava is a good touch. This and the lava that shoots from the bottom pool was always one of my favorite parts of Marble Zone. Hey, if you've got a lava level with a speedy character, why not try to make them outrun it? Don't get impatient with me, Sonic. Do you want to fall in the lava? Okay, turning Sonic's spin jump into almost a mini-game is pretty creative. I think you can tell how much I played this game due to how fast I did this, but jumping on these platforms into the wall is a fun way to continue a level, even if it might take you a bit to find on a first playthrough. Although maybe that's why the falling ones in previous levels were there. The Egg Scorcher is another simple but really fun boss. I think the flame theme matches the lava of Marble Zone, and his attack is a step up from the Egg Wrecker. Springyard Zone has a funky soundtrack, but I kinda dig it. And as the name suggests, this level focuses on the springs and bounce pads of the game, making it a Suno Casino level in combination with the pinball effect Sonic does, which are always a nice touch. Also, this level's a perfect time to reference the iconic sound of those springs. Come on, if you hear this sound, you know where it's from. I just realized this level in particular might have been used to test the limits of Sonic's momentum. Sure, there are no loops like in Green Hill, but the ramping pathways allow players to witness the effects of a rolled Sonic against a slope. Remember when I said there are branching pathways? Well, Springyard is where you notice that the upper pathways are the easier and faster paths, but your gameplay needs to be good enough to make it work. It rewards replayability as players will try again and again to get good enough to take the upper paths and get a faster time. Hey, it is a good way to let the player know they did it and are getting the good ending. Okay, the Egg Stinger is the perfect kind of challenging boss. Simple pattern, but removes your path from under you. I remember I beat this boss once when I first played this game and still lost a level because he took away my platforms that led to the capsule at the end of the level. Still, I think this is a good third boss fight because it makes a player think about where they need to be and when. Also, with how many moving platforms and blocks are in this level, this boss again fits that dynamic. Oh no, Labyrinth Zone! Okay, with that out of the way, the theme is once again really good. Also, this level is really pretty with the crystals you find all over the place. Remember how I was talking about Sonic burrowing in Green Hill that I mentioned it being an attention to detail for hedgehogs? Yeah, this level is meant to be Sonic's antithesis since the developers believed hedgehogs couldn't swim well despite them being actually really excellent swimmers. I'll still give them a win just because they were trying to be accurate, and it created a unique weakness for Sonic. Heads up, I did drown in this level, so sorry for the pain I'm causing you with this theme, but that just goes to show how well they made the drowning music affect you. You want to play well so you don't hear it or die. Though, based on when I grabbed a bubble here and when the music started playing, I determined that Sonic can breathe underwater for a maximum of 25 seconds. So do with that information what you will. Speaking of which, bubble sound effect! Also, I love how the water actually has an effect on the visuals. It's most obvious when Sonic jumps out of the water, but it does change his color a bit. Every Sonic game that has these does them well, but I've always loved the current effects on water levels, especially when they add the poles you have to maneuver with. Ah yes, the forever looping slide. As confusing as this is, and it is confusing, at least the animation of Sonic sliding down it is fun. Plus, once you figure it out, you never forget. I actually love the boss chase at the end of Labyrinth Zone. The water rising encourages you to go fast, but you also have to time your jumps to avoid the spikes. It's the only encounter of its kind in this game, and you have to appreciate it for that. Okay, time we talk about Starlight Zone. First off, the music feels incredibly relaxing, which honestly makes me wonder if the devs knew just how much players would hate the Labyrinth Zone. I feel like this level gets overlooked due to appearing so late in the game, but with its own version of loops, calming melody, and the unique teeter-totter gimmick with the spikes, this would be my choice level if Sonic 1 has to be referenced in anything in the future. You know, just to give us a break from Green Hill. And sorry to sound like a broken record, but the boss fits once again. The Egg Spiker plays with the seesaw mechanic you had to learn for this level, and it's actually really fun as long as you pay attention to what you're doing. Okay, Scrap Brain Zone. Before I get to the stage itself, I want to point out something I noticed while playing the game. Each zone becomes more and more industrial. Green Hill is fully nature, as the name suggests. Marble is green on top but has ruin beneath. Spring Yard looks like a factory but has mountains and green trees in the background. Labyrinth is, well, a labyrinth with a bit of vines. Twilight is a construction zone near a city, but still green enough for you to see stars in the sky. Trust me, as someone who lives in the city and doesn't see these at night, you know what that does. And Scrap Brain is a mechanical nightmare. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but I think the game shows nature being overtaken as more industrialization happens until you reach a stage with no nature whatsoever. It really fits the theme of the game, and if this was Sega's intention, it's really nice storytelling in a game that has little story otherwise. Also, yes, I like Scrap Brain's theme. Very mechanical. That being said, remember what I said about upper pads? You better take them here, because the lower pads are unforgiving. To be fair though, that's perfectly fine as this is the final level, and when you do get access to those upper pads, it is so rewarding. Also, this thing is a murder zone with a number of bottomless pits, saw blades, and flamethrowers being thrown at you. It really shows that this is Eggman's last stand, for this game at least, and he is doing everything to kill Sonic. It makes it a pretty good final level. I actually love these conveyor belts built into the level, where you have to run against their natural flow to avoid damage. Score another win for level design. Oh, and when Act 2 continues after you finish it, that's such a good subversion of expectation before heading into the final hurdle. I actually try to complete Act 3 both ways. For those of you who don't know, after you hit the switch, if you run faster than the platform, you get a lower path that can be completed in little over a minute. Really rewards the speed-driven players and exploration. But I also took the long way just because I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it again, and yeah, the developers definitely knew how much players would despise Labyrinth Zone. Final Zone's Egg Crusher might be the easiest final boss in all of Sonic, but I like the idea of giving the players 0 rings so that it's an all-or-nothing boss fight. Really raises the stakes. And in keeping with the idea of man versus nature, your reward for collecting the Chaos Emeralds is to have the nature in Green Hill restored. Or at least brought to further fruition. Don't worry, they'll have a greater effect in the next game. Sonic's pose here. Gotta love the credits being intermingled with music from the game. Though to be honest, I cannot recall this first bit being in the game. Feel free to correct me on that, like, it's a bop. And Eggman being angry about losing. How fitting. There is an alternate ending if you don't get the Chaos Emeralds, but it just shows Eggman juggling them. Just more incentive to play the game again and show him who's boss. Okay, that's all for the base game itself, but I think we need to acknowledge what this game did for gaming as a whole. Sonic was the animal mascot with attitude, and that led to more characters like that in the 90s, from Bubsy to Crash Bandicoot. Sure, not all of them were a success, but Sonic paved the way for them to try. Think about the fact that even 34 years later, this blue hedgehog still has a massive fan base that is still running with him. He's been supported through comics, movies, anime, manga, and remains one of the largest IPs to date. And it all started here. I just wanted to make a video about Sonic that was positive because I see a lot of negativity surrounding the blue blur these days. So here's my gift. Happy birthday, Sonic. From me and all your loyal fans who are just happy to see our favorite hedgehog prosper.